All right, welcome back, welcome back. I need to say unmute myself. Okay, I may also need to edit this event really quickly. This is for today. At 4:15. 4:15. To 4:45. Sorry, I just made a mistake. I saw something here that needs to be edited. So we're saving this. Really quickly. It's the thing with technology. Okay, today, and then we have another one. Hey, welcome.
Hey,
We just went live on this episode. Come on in. You can more than welcome to have a seat with us, brother. We can even edit this.
Jason, I'm Jude.
Come on in, Jason. See.
We're live?
Yeah, welcome, brother.
Hey, how are you?
Thanks, bro. Yep, I just went live in the members area, but then I'm gonna have TikTok and Instagram set up here in a second.
Oh,
We're going to your story.
Oh, are we?
This year's was at
Yeah,
1 o'clock, but you're here, so I'm
I'm
glad.
here now.
Yes, we did Ben and we did Anna, and Ann's here, and then now we have Jude is gonna ask some questions.
Okay.
Let me just fix this edit. I have to edit this up real quick. 5-6 laws. For some reason, the timing of this messed up. So let me just fix it real quick.
Let me use the restroom.
Yeah, go ahead. Okay, day 1 is the 10th. And we're gonna do, this one is from 5 to 6. 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. Great. Okay, I thought I did all this already. Hopefully I didn't change it. Let me just check this out real quick. It's just technical events. This is live. So we're just we're gonna have issues. Thanks, Jude, for coming in.
Welcome, glad to be here.
Okay. Okay. Good. We're getting going at 3 p.m. It's perfect time. Just want to make sure that was good. Let me know. We've got some people showing up here soon. So I've got my participants here. And we'll get right into the show here in a second. I'm just going to pull up my chat. In case anybody's going to say anything and say what's up. Okay, we're live in the members area. Great. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and go live on TikTok and Instagram. You want to get some tea? Get some tea. This one's already used, but we can walk this. There's no cup there. I'll go live on TikTok and Instagram, and then let's catch up on your story. And say what's up. Introduce yourself. Just right now in the members area. I'm thirsty. We got plenty. Ann's actually having a store right now with Ben. Big Ben. He's been here. He kind of helped us open. He stayed here. Yeah. All right. All right. So we're going to go live on TikTok. And we'll also go live on Instagram. Okay, welcome, everybody. What are we on right now for 3 o'clock?
Growth requirements, roots, stems, flowers, leaves, drumsticks, soil, moringa, benefits and uses,
Good,
cooking and recipes, people, pets, plants.
good. I'll go ahead and bring that up too. But come on in, have a seat with us, Jason. We kind of want to introduce you to the crowd. We've got our members area here. We have our members coming in. We also have a little shot of us on TikTok as well as Instagram.
Oh, man.
So we're live. Thanks, brother. Thanks for coming in.
Live production, thank you.
This is the house right here.
Yeah.
This is the crew. This is everything that you see behind the scenes. Of course, we do have some VAs across the country. And we also have a lot of members that have helping hands, but this essentially is the core team right here behind the scenes of the company. And that's why we're here today for MoringaCon to show you all what we've been working on, what we're cooking up, our next
The next
future
iteration
plans.
of this.
Yeah, how we started. We kind of went through my story a little bit. We can
Okay.
cover a little bit here.
Sure.
We're going to get into growth requirements, requirements for growing a healthy tree. Sticks, stems, leaves. What do you need for fertilizer? We're going to talk a little bit about this miracle juice here that we've got, which is really what Jason has always kind of honed in on us for this company is our mission statement,
Yeah.
our future goals. So please tell a little bit about yourself and maybe spend a few minutes and let us know more about who you are, Mr. Sparkman.
Well, that's just, like a stage name, but
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. So, I guess quick backstory about me and who I am and what I've done up to this point is I've been a digital marketer for a few years, and some of my first experiences were helping scale a solar company. So I helped build a multi-million-dollar solar organization from the ground up. Eventually they sold to a larger lead generation company, and essentially I was a part of that startup. And so I took those skills, and in that whole process of building that company, I met Kendrick at a farmer's market a little bit. Well, it was a little bit before that, but we just got to know each other.
Yep.
And I was excited to learn more about Moringa, because I am and was an advocate for health and healthy supplements and these kinds of things. So when I learned about Moringa through him, I said, "Yo, this is really interesting. Let me help you market it."
You're like, I want to be a part of this industry.
Yeah, and I wanted to help bring like my knowledge of marketing, sales funnels, advertising, these kinds of things to what he was doing, because he was sitting at a farmer's market and selling, which is the way you start.
Yeah.
Right. And then because of my knowledge, I was like, "Yo, you need to start capturing leads, like give things away for free."
What is that? What is that?
Like what's a lead? And so just like these last about 5 years, I just been helping him get to this point. And then we used to be called Numa Nursery, now we're Grow Moringa. When I finally got officially involved in the organization, we rebranded, repositioned everything, and we just kind of like, now you see us, right?
Yeah.
Like 2.5 years later, we're a whole different collective essentially. And so but ultimately, like, my mission here is to help people take control of their food, water, and energy.
Mm-hmm.
That is my core belief. I want to see people become truly sovereign.
Yeah.
And the way the world is going, if you have any sense in your brain, you can kind of see where it's headed. And there's not that many people talking about using the ancient strategies of permaculture with the new world of technology.
Yep.
And so we are spearheading these kinds of initiatives. And one of the actual solutions that we've come to bear is the biostimulant.
Yeah, this is
that plant juice, which I realize, like, this, of all the products we have, this will make the most impact for all three: people, pets, and plants.
Right. And you just finished developing our new lander page, our website,
Yeah.
our shop, which says that, and I loved it when I first saw it. You know, just the copy that you're using, and you put, I think pets first. You're like pets, plants, and then people.
Yeah,
Because I was mentioning that our industry for Moringa, as much as everybody here knows about consuming this nice green powder, we also have an even higher grade premium product for pet food and plant food. And
Yeah.
that's essentially made from Moringa, free from pesticides, herbicides, and
it's, I mean, it's USDA organic as well. So through our partner members, and yeah, I mean, ultimately my whole thing is I love creating new offers and new ways to market stuff. So and new business models. And so can we talk about Safe Bio?
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're just, we're essentially the same thing as this. We're also have another brand that's focused, excuse me, just on the name itself, just like what he did with Numa. Everybody, this is what I was gonna say is, everybody was like, that's obscure, or what is Numa? He saw in my messaging, every other question was, what's a Numa? What is Numa? What do you sell? And I kept going to him with, I keep having this problem and nobody knows what I'm selling. And they keep asking me for strawberries and bananas because it was Numa Nursery, but all I sold was Moringa.
Right, and because I would ask him, I was like, what's your top seller?
Yeah.
Moringa.
I
said,
sell.
okay, well, we need to go where what people are asking for. It's like, go with the market, right? So
the name. So changing the name from Numa to grow Moringa has now blown this out of the water, where we have potentially $1 billion business in the works, because thanks to this book and Alex and Jason's marketing genius, essentially is getting us to that level. Change the name. What do we sell? Moringa. It's in the name. So this is one of the things that everybody here can take a hint to when you're thinking about your naming of your Moringa business. I always just say Jen's Moringa. Berries Moringa. They're like, just put your name on it and sell Moringa.
That's it.
You know,
keep it simple. At the end of the day, like that's who you are and what it is. That's it. Because our brains, we only have so much decision making ability in a day.
Yeah.
So don't make people like use too much cognitive load.
This is actually perfect because we're talking about growth requirements for plants in this particular section, and then Jason was just saying that he's also working on a new brand of this product called Safe Bio.
Yeah, and the premise of that is to create a workforce that is under, like, we have so many people who are underemployed and they don't know what to do, and ultimately, like, we can do a 3-prong approach where it's like, if you don't have a job and you're looking for a job, I have a business model where you can get paid well for doing something very easy, which is literally spraying plants with the juice. Like, it's not hard. Like, you don't need to really do much, and all you do is just have to show up and with a nice shirt and a smile and get the job done. Right?
So what exactly are we doing is we're spraying Moringa on plants, all plants, to give them the growth requirements that those plants need to grow big and strong.
Yeah.
So Safe Bio is an acronym for Save American Farm.
Correct. Save American Farms Biostimulants. So to keep it
just
small,
locked it in.
Safe Bio.
This new company, it literally is just this product. And to put our members to work, put contractors to work, because he's really into home services. He's tying in his solar companies with now his ag company that he's a part of, and now this biostimulant company that he's creating is bringing all that together to where in our network of 400 so people that are inside of our collective, who here needs a job? What city are you in? Do you have a license to drive? Because essentially this is selling Moringa, but as a service of application, where we're taking our product, we're putting it in tanks, we're putting it in the back of people's vehicles with a tank, right? You guys know, like the power washing power washing tanks that go on the back of vehicles or trailers. Essentially put this in a tank and we're creating a subscription model company where they're paying monthly service for applying this product to their green grass, their brown grass to make it green.
Yep.
Without putting down fertilizers, and to also make their ornamentals. You got to keep up with the Joneses, right? You got to keep up with their yard is looking good, but they're, maybe you just got laid off, or maybe you're trying to, find a way to save some extra income. You don't have to buy the toxic, most expensive chemical fertilizers. You can buy very affordable, very healthy USDA certified organic product.
The goal, right, really is to get people off the addiction of petrol-based fertilizers, right? And so that we can use plant-based, solutions like biostimulants, soil abatements, soil supplements, which I call soil supplements because that's exactly what it is. So that we can get off it, and we need to create living soil. That's the goal here, right? So it makes perfect sense to turn it into an income generation strategy for people who don't know where else to go, right? That's kind of the overall scope right now, but it's still in development. So we did kind of tease you with that.
Nice.
We have to do that business model out here in Tampa Bay. And once we get our first few trucks and rolling, then we'll create a system where you can license our brand.
That's right.
And everything to go and take it to the next city. So
well, thanks for letting us know a little bit about you. We do have a guest here that has some questions for us here. We're going to get some questions with her. Of course, if anybody here has any questions in the members area or even on TikTok and Instagram, don't hesitate to make a comment. We'll see it. If you need anything answered right now, I went ahead and put up this curriculum. You can kind of see we're going to run through soils. We're talking a little bit about soil, the pH of Moringa, what you need to essentially grow Moringa healthy, the essential elements of the soil, which are the growth requirements for this plant. What does it need in the soil? What helps you to have a healthier tree? Usually, sometimes in soil, there's things called heavy metals that Moringa can pull up, and we're going to talk a little bit more about heavy metal testing. We've talked a little bit about biostimulants, fertilizers, and then we'll talk about water, irrigation, and of course, light and temperature. All of these we're going to be bringing to you here in the next 45 minutes. We're live until 4.
Okay.
We're going to do that. We have pretty much these 45 minutes to do that, but we have Jude here, and she has some questions potentially that may want to ask, and you're patiently learning and hanging out with us. So thanks so much for coming by.
Thank you. I actually came by to get some Moringa oil.
Nice.
And I have that to take home, which I'm looking forward to.
Beautiful.
I've been taking the Moringa capsules because I was having a GI tract disturbance.
Really?
And so I started taking the Moringa capsules, and apparently it's something that's going around Tampa.
Yeah.
And my son-in-law has it in New York.
Right.
So it's something that's spread around. And I thought, they don't know what to do for it.
Right. And so you came in a couple weeks ago.
I got some.
You got some capsules.
I got 2 bottles of capsules.
And what are the results?
And I'm free of it.
Yes.
Totally free of it.
That's the testimony we want to hear. So we have someone here that had some intestinal issues, and this is close to home in case they didn't actually hear what you were saying. I'm just going to repeat what you just said, where she had an intestinal issue and possibly was doing either of the two. It's either you're going out too much or you're not going out enough and you're stopped up. It's either one of those two. And both of those two things are actually the same thing. And so she was having this issue, found out that somebody else in her family was also having this issue in another state. And it's like, whoa, maybe something's going around. Well, why don't I call Kendrick and go get some Moringa? So she came by, she got some capsules 2 weeks ago. And here at this time, she had already been severely going through this issue for several weeks. I mean, I could see it on your face. I mean, I've gone through the same thing myself for many years. A lot of what I talk about here in my story is how I suffered from IBS for 13 years. For 13 years as a young child. at 11 years old, I'm having to take enemas. What the heck is this? Why am I going to the doctor saying, hey, doc, I haven't been able to go number 2 in 2 weeks. I'm counting the days. Like, I haven't gone number 2 today. I haven't gone number 2 today. I'm talking 2 weeks. That's still fecal matter in your system. So what was happening to me? I would eat dinner. Excuse me. I would eat dinner. It's a little sensitive because, of course, this happened to me many times. Is I would eat dinner and I would end up waking up in the middle of the night throwing up.
Oh dear.
Because my intestines were so backed up with food that I would eat, and it would sit in my stomach to where almost every night for many, many years, I would get disrupted by unexplosive vomiting. Just vomiting all over the place. Didn't know what was going on. I'm like 9 years old, 10 years old, 11 years old, trying to eat dinner. But one of the things is that we have this epidemic in our society where it's like, sit down and finish your food. Don't get up until you finish your food. And that
Children
you've
are
definitely
starving in Ethiopia.
right.
How can you not finish your food?
And in a time, maybe you've said that to your children, where maybe they weren't finishing their vegetables, right? And they were only eating the sweets on the plate. And it's like we were kind of taught this, you know, to finish your food. There's people in Africa and India that don't have food. You finish your food. But I feel like that particular saying is also kind of what spurred my problems. Because that was something like I would eat so fast. That was one thing that because I just wanted to get back outside. But it was, you can't go anywhere because I was jumping around. I was like, I gotta go run, you know, like I'm so much energy,
still the same,
just nonstop. And it's like, sit down and finish your food. So then I would eat it so fast and I get hit in the back of the head, like, slow down. And I'm like, what do you want?
Yeah.
Right? I don't understand. So I'm having this trauma over food. And I would end up stuffing and gorging myself. Then it got to be like, you know what? Hey, Unc, you gonna finish your food? I'm gonna finish your food. Hey, you gonna finish your food? I'm gonna finish your food, because I was told to finish your food. Well, I'm so extreme in my Aquarian ways that subconsciously I was like, well, I'm gonna show you, because I'm a good boy. I'm a good little boy. I'm a good kid. And if my parents say finish your food, you know what? I'm gonna finish this whole table. Matter of fact, at Thanksgiving, I'm going to be the smallest guy that eats all of you out. House and home. I'm eating to where now I've got this gorging issue.
Yeah.
Right. And so that then started to cause that compaction over years and years of that. By the time I was 11, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, I can just remember going through this issue where it's like, so what? If I'm going to throw up tonight, I'm going to eat this whole table. No matter what, if I'm already going to throw up. So I hid this thing from my parents. I hid it from everybody, where I ended up becoming bulimic in a way, where I would say, you know what, if I'm already going to throw up tonight, I might as well go ahead and force it out now before I wake up in the middle of the night and have to throw all this up. So up until I was 25 years old, I suffered from this eating disorder, food issue, not being able to go to the bathroom. And when I did, sometimes it was liquid or it was really hard and painful. And so I really appreciate you, Jude, for coming in and just saying that, you know, just saying, hey, you know, I had this issue. And then to hear you say that it's worked, that's actually the reason why I got on Moringa, was because I heard that it helped with the GI tract. And
I started slow. I started just 2 a day.
Yeah.
And then I amped it up a little bit.
Good.
But it was like a week and a few days. And I was clear.
Wow.
And
So within a week, she was already clear.
Yeah, and I was saying, this can't be so, because it had gone on for 5 weeks.
Wow.
But the doctor was saying, you know, we don't know what to do about it. Everybody's got it.
That's what I got. Just eat more whole wheat That's
Eat
what I
more
got.
Fiber.
Eat more fiber. Like, okay, I had to drink
Sure.
barley greens like this. Imagine this and just some water. I always end up drinking that as a
And
child.
I'm thinking, oh, this has got to be.
So
too
she
good
took
to be
these.
true.
She chose capsule power. Look at that.
Right.
Green
Oh, yeah.
stuff. So she got some of
That's
this stuff. And this is actually one of our best sellers. If you get to the point in your business where you're like, what should I do? You can literally just sit and make capsules all day, every day, and make hundreds of thousands of dollars a year just from buying in moringa and making capsules, or growing your own moringa, drying it, and just making capsules and just not even having any other product, because this is a huge buyer. Now, what was the size for you? Was it too big going down? Was it something that you kind of said to yourself, I could use a smaller size?
No.
No? Okay,
No,
that's good.
The size was fine.
Okay,
It's just that I'm a pretty small person.
that's why I asked, yeah.
Yeah, so I didn't want to overload my little 105 pound.
Yeah, exactly.
5'2" self.
Right,
Because that could happen.
Yeah.
And I do that with other supplements as well.
right. And so she came in today, so she came in 2 weeks ago for the capsules, and today she came in for the oil. So we have the oil here. Can I have one of your drams
Yes.
just to
I
show?
got the dram
Just because it's
because
clear.
I'm a female
Yeah,
and I carry it back.
yeah, go ahead.
And so I can carry one in my back.
Just to show just the clearness, I just want you to
Yeah.
see the color of that,
Yeah.
right
It's
there.
beautiful.
So this is what we're talking about here. This is the liquid gold. So what do you want to do with this? What do you want to do with the oil now that you have your capsules and you're kind of fixed up?
Actually, I'm going to try the oil, just drinking some of the oil, but
Exactly.
I'm gonna put it on my skin as
Good.
well.
Yeah, do both, yeah.
You're gonna be shocked. I'm actually 94 years old, and I've been using it for 20 years. Look, it's anti-aging.
Right.
So thanks, Jude. Did you have any questions?
Oh, basically, I don't know about growing it myself, but I do have kind of a good sized backyard
Okay,
in town
okay,
that would hold some trees.
great. We're in chapter 4.
But I don't even know how you get started. It's just
Studying.
what the basics are.
Right, right.
What-
That's exactly right that we're talking about here. The basics. What do we kind of need to start off with? We're going to talk a little bit about soil. Let me get the soil test real quick. I think I know where the soil test is. Let me just find the soil test. I might even put it in here. It's a small green box. I might even just have it in my room. Be right back. Keep them company. Ask you the question.
Actually, so one thing I'll tell you, Jason, you can tell the audience.
Yeah.
Is that I suggested to my son-in-law, who has the same thing, I said, this just wouldn't hurt. No, I can take care of it. He still has it.
Yeah.
He still has the problem.
A lot of it comes down to ego.
Well, he's a man, he doesn't need little pills.
Well,
He can take care of it.
Okay.
Right, but he
Thank you,
still
thank you,
has
thank you.
yeah, I get it.
So here's the soil test.
And then we have men coming to us crying after we fix them,
Right.
thanking us.
So this is on our website, growmoringa.com. It's under heavy metal soil test. And this is where you really want to start with your growth requirements. You want to make sure that you don't have heavy metals in your soil. So that's really where you want to get started.
And if you do, what do you do? If you
Um,
have that,
Then,
do it?
You can use moringa. That's a great question. So she just asked, what happens if you do have heavy metals?
Yeah.
Moringa can be planted on that property as like a sacrifice plant, as a pioneer plant for that property to grow for about 2 years, and then you remove it. Because in those 2 to 3 years, it's going to pull all those heavy metals up in the soil, and then you grab the trees and you remove the trees, and now you're left with clean soil. Okay, so that was a good question. So she asked, what happens if it comes back and you're positive, doc? Well, you've got to go ahead and mitigate, there's that word again, mitigate your soil with moringa. So using Moringa to pull the heavy metals out of the soil. Did you see our little?
Yeah, I think that's cool.
Isn't that cool? This is actually some of the trees. The reason why it's so powerful and it's able to pull up heavy metals from the soil is because of this taproot right here. Look, this is only a couple months old, but look at this. This is what stretches down 20 feet into the ground. You know, this is tapping into the aquifer. And also one of the reasons why it is a drought tolerant tree, because it can go so deep that it can capture water that's deep within the surface. And so one of the sections in the growth requirements is water and irrigation. And it needs very little water to live. But when you're just getting started and you're planting your seed, you need about 4 milliliters per tree. So someone who is getting a system going with about 1,000 trees or 2,000 trees in their orchard, they know that if they put 1,000 seeds in the ground, they're going to need about 4,000 milliliters of water that day, which essentially is about 400 liters of water that's going to go through their irrigation system during the day, right? So you can split that out into 2 milliliters twice a day to help get that seed sprouted.
Right.
So that's a requirement that a lot of our commercial growers are asking is, what's my water requirement? And it's actually very low, 4 milliliters for the first 2 weeks to establish the seed and establish the tree is not much at all. Then as it begins to grow and increase in size, you've got to get it to where the taproot can begin to reach the water. And so within this first year, you're going to increase it a few milliliters a day until you get to about 100 milliliters a day, right? So about a liter. Each tree, about a year old to 2 years old, should be consuming about a liter of water a day.
Is that a pretty big water bill then?
If it's a well on electricity, it could be on solar. Essentially, the wells run off of electricity with the pump. And so it could, we're not talking city water or, you know, things like that. In a commercial setting of 1,000 trees or more, everything is on well. And so they pay by the pumps, right? If you're pulling up 1,000 gallons into a tank and it takes 5 minutes to run that pump from the well to the tank, you're only paying 5 minutes. So that's why we talk about storage capacity, collecting rainwater, but also getting your irrigation on solar.
Yeah.
You know, so that's some of the home services that we offer too, is getting your system set up for solar. So I know we just kind of jumped into water requirement. So that's a little bit of that.
So
Where should we go next? Okay, because we were just talking about soil.
let's talk about
pH.
soil, heavy metals.
Let's do pH.
Go ahead.
pH is a good one.
Yeah.
So after you've done this kit, this is a kit that if you go to growmoringa.com, you'll get access to this kit. This is essentially a box where you're going to dig a hole strategically throughout that plot that you're going to be growing. So say you have a square, kind of like this box, and this is your property. You're going to dig a hole here, you're going to dig a hole here, you're going to dig a hole here, and essentially you're going to put all of those little samples that you grabbed and you're going to put it in this bag. Right, there's a bag in this kit. You're just going to fill this bag. That's it. So you're really just putting, you know, a couple grams of dirt from this corner, a couple grams of dirt from this corner, and a couple grams of dirt. Mix it all in here, put it in here, and you're going to send it to the lab. We're partners with this laboratory. This is the best one that you want to use for the heavy metals that Moringa pulls up. This is definitely testing. Not only is it testing for arsenic, barium, cadmium, chromium, and what's the other one? Arsenic and these little names on here: Ag, Se, Hg, Pb, Cr, Cd, Ba, As. Those are all the elements that this tests for. These are heavy metals. It's arsenic and arsenic,
Iron sulfate,
Iron sulfate? No.
metallic sulfate.
They're in apple seeds. You know, when you eat apple seed, what are the two things? It's arsenic and cyanide. Cyanide.
Yes, that's the one.
So that's it, CD right there, cyanide.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think, or that could be cadmium. We're gonna look it up. But cyanide is one of those things too that ends up being in the soil that roots end up absorbing. So that's why you don't want to eat moringa roots that are older than a year old. If a root has a skin on it, if a moringa root has skin on it, that means most likely it's already got trapped heavy metals in there. And what that is, it's also a natural protective mechanism for that plant, because if an animal comes by and eats that root, they're going to get poisoned. And they're going to learn not to eat that root again.
Lead.
They're going to figure out,
Arsenic,
there it is.
cadmium, chromium, lead,
mercury, selenium, silver.
Mhm.
Oh, great. That's what all these 8 pieces are that it's testing. Right. I put that in there. Good.
Mhm.
Selenium isn't,
It's a heavy metal.
is it?
Not necessarily bad for you.
There are, it's also an essential amino acid, I think.
Yes.
It might be a different type of selenium.
It's found in Brazil nuts,
Yeah.
which are really good.
High
for
in
you.
selenium, yeah.
Yeah,
So
really.
in some cases it's good, some cases in the soil, it's just testing for it, you know? Okay, so that's what the soil test is. Now, what is the range of pH that we need to be in to have a healthy moringa tree with healthy soil? So average in neutral is 7, right? And Florida is a little bit of alkaline soil. So it even runs, because of the sand, it runs a little bit higher than 7, just very slightly. And moringa really like it in this particular range of 6.3 to 6.5, 6.3 to 6.5. So in South Florida, in Miami, where we have really great weather, we also have high amounts of lime deposits, which increases the alkalinity of the soil tremendously. And then when I go down south to Miami to those trees, they're hurting. They're suffering. So great weather, but the pH is off. Okay, well, if we go up to, say, even where we are in Tampa and north, like Brooksville, Orlando, you know, Ocala, those areas, it dropped dramatically to like 6.5, 6.3. It's like everybody in North Florida is like, yo, my trees just exploded. It's growing over a foot a week. You know, I've got drumsticks on it and it's not even a year old. I'm getting all these stories. But then come November, they get a frost. And then it drops down to nothing. Then in January, February, March, they're hit with frost. And so the trees are then hit again, bang, bang. So then you don't have all year. So what we realized is that the best place to grow moringa is in an area west of Okeechobee, called Highlands County.
Oh yeah,
Which we talked about because we have some friends. Axe to Rio, if you're watching, we've got, what's your boy's name?
Clay.
Clay's here. He does designs with Axe to Rio. They're a company, a crew of people actually, designers, but mostly entrepreneur family that is getting land, large amounts of land, large tracts of land, like 1,000 acres.
We're doing this.
Right, and we are doing this as well.
Okay, good.
We have to do this as well. We're teaming up with Axe to Rio, where they get like 100 acres. Let's just say they have a 100-acre plot, and they just did this in Highlands County, right?
Yeah, they did it in Sebring.
Sebring.
He's actually selling property right now in Sebring. But ultimately, like we have our own models that we want to bring to the market as well.
Yeah.
It's the same concept. It's not like it's anything different or new, but Kendrick, because he's a master architect, he's got his own designs for pharmatecture, which we've coined him as the father of pharmatecture.
Yeah.
And so the goal here is for people to basically build their own legacy homestead. You own your property outright, that's fully self-sustaining, and it gets passed down to your family. We build it and design it to last over 200 years.
Yeah,
that's the goal.
Right, and we chose Highlands County as the most ideal place in Florida because we were talking pH and temperature.
Because soil temp all matters.
In the growth requirements of this plant it's 2 pH, high pH, 2 lime, because South Florida was really just underwater recently. It's still a very shallow bed. You've got the Everglades. It's very salty, lots of lime. The lime shelf is very close to the surface. So when you dig in South Florida, you're really just hitting shells and lime. Also, a lot of properties are just burial mounds, Indian burial mounds. And so they just flatten these oyster mounds out and then just built houses on top of them. So you dig down and you're just hitting clam shells, just all over the place in people's yards in South Florida. And they're like, best temperature, but kind of high on the pH. So how do you mitigate that is, say, bringing in some soil. What I did here actually was I built my property up where I'm on a wetland. I'm a lowland right now. And so what I said is the first thing before I plant anything, let's go ahead and drop hundreds of loads of mulch, oak mulch from around the neighborhood and drop it here. That raised my property 2 feet, right? 2 whole feet. Yeah, it settles down, but essentially it settles down into almost a foot above where it was originally. But what that did was I started at 2 feet and then I dug a hole in that mulch and I dropped soil in that hole. And then I dropped my tree in that. So now I'm up 2 feet. I've got a hole with soil in it and it's surrounded by mulch. It's just literally like I'm standing on 2 feet of oak mulch. But I dug a hole, and this is kind of where in Central Florida area where we are in South Central Florida, which is really, really great area because temperature stays pretty good. We don't have that high lime shelf, so the pH is a lot better and it makes it through the winter. And so I just dug that hole, put the tree in that, and then over time it settles. It's going to settle down a little bit. And so it's going to be at a higher level. It's going to be surrounded by compost. And what happens is when things break down, they end up, when they're breaking down, when things are breaking down, they're acidic. They're giving off acids, right? So if you have high pH, one of the things that you can do is growing moringa is just growing it in very, really, really good composted soil, or getting oak mulch dropped off on the property and getting it in around organic matter. And that's going to help increase the longevity of your trees. Because like one of the things that I'm witnessing on the trees in South Florida who have really high pH is that they'll be like 3, 4, 5-year-old trees, and they're very, very skinny, very skinny. The bark does not look healthy at all. And it's just, I dig down a little bit, I see, oh, well, it's just on shells. And I actually experienced this growing moringa in pots because I started experimenting with like the medium inside the pots that I could grow it in. And I would put like rocks or shells in the pots. And all the ones that did that too, those moringa trees did terrible. So it's the pH. The pH is definitely a big, so you want to be around 6.3 to 6.5. So we got about 20 minutes left of this episode where we're talking growth requirements. We already did a little bit of soils. What's in the soil for you to give, say, like an all-around, say, tree, healthy tree, that is exactly what they say it is? So what do people say moringa has? 25 times more iron than spinach, 10 times more vitamin A than carrots, 7 times more vitamin C than oranges, 2 times more protein than yogurt, 4 times more fiber than oats, 17 times more calcium than milk, 15 times more potassium than bananas. Now, that doesn't shock me so much because I already know as a farmer, soils are already depleted. They've been depleted for many hundreds of years now. Okay, we've already pulled stuff out without replenishing because we don't use regenerative practices. Right. So we're literally we're burying our own graves with
We're killing ourselves already. It's a self-inflicted wound. So that's why we're doing this.
Yeah.
For biostimulant to save it.
And
ourselves.
You can only have this when it's in the ground. Right? You can only have all of those things when you already have protein in the ground, when you already have calcium in the ground, when you already have iron in the ground. So if you're wondering if your trees are really this, then the next step is to get your leaf test.
Yeah.
Go to growmoringa.com, get your leaf. You see the tree here?
Oh, I love it.
Get your leaf, grab your greens, dry them, powder them, and send it to the laboratory that we have already provided you at growmoringa.com. Get yourself a nutritional leaf test. So step 1, the requirement is to test your soil. If you're good to go, step 2 is get your trees to then see what's in it. Is it high in protein? Is it high in calcium, potassium, magnesium, iron, all of those things, right? And everything in here that we said. How do you put those things in the soil? Moringa. Because if Moringa has that, then we have a plant product for you that we can put on the soil that is Moringa leaves. This one is our human consumption one, but we have another one. I don't know if we have a package of it already ready. In the laboratory, take a check to see if we see any biostimulant there in the paper bag, paper pouch, because we have a premium plant food that we mix the whole tree with. That's it. Yeah, we mix the whole tree. We mix up the entirety of the tree because the roots have good things. The bark has a lot of really good things. The sticks, the stems, the leaves, everything, the whole tree is blended to make this particular product, which is our soil amendment. So if you're wondering if you're lacking, if you don't have it in your pots and you want to put it in your pots, you just get yourself this Moringa powder that we have on our shop, put that in your pots, sprinkle that on your soil, and this will actually help amend your soil. She's like, whoa, that's freaking awesome. I had no idea. If you want it in your soil, you got to put it in your soil. But also there's mushrooms. Just dropping mushrooms. You need mycelium in there. Eat some mushrooms, feed your soil some mushrooms. Dig a hole and bury some mushrooms.
Definitely need those.
Right?
Those boys.
Every time you have a tree, dig a hole next to that tree and bury some mushrooms. You will thank yourself.
Wow.
Next is biochar. Not only can you then burn moringa, bamboo, and other things on your property, sticks and stems, create biochar or purchase in and buy biochar. That's going to help increase the structure of your soil. So that way it can even hold the minerals without it washing off. So the biochar is really going to help create that structure. And do the things like I did and add oak mulch that helps to create a lot of spectrum of minerals from the oak. No pine, no palm. So specifying no pine, no palm. And
Worms.
Then the next thing is castings. So that was another one too. So go hit up your favorite fisherman, hit the bridge. But yo, where do you get your worms?
Right.
If they say my backyard, then say, I'll go buy thousands of worms from you. And we have a guy here, Hong Kong Willie, you know him, off the fella?
No, you know him.
Yeah. Oh, it's a weird dude. And he's like, I got worms. This is a worm, free Willie worms or something like that. Hong Kong, he's Hong Kong Willie. He's got a big old statue out there with the Hong Kong holding up a worm.
I've never seen that.
right? He's got like a carnival back there, but then
Oh, that's
he took me
great.
back there one time and he's got this raised up, this is what we need to do, compost area. It literally looks like just a raised up square, right?
Okay.
He reaches his hands in it and he pulls out a whole handful of wigglers.
Wigglers.
He's like, this is my worm bed.
Yeah.
And in his store, he's just got thousands of little cups filled with worms.
Wow. We need to do that.
Great business.
That's
If we're
time to do
already
that.
doing farming,
We'll
we've
add
got
that to the mix.
we got to add that to the lineup of things. So
New business coming.
new business coming. We're Hong Kong Willie worms. We're coming for you, man. We're coming for you.
Coming with us.
Coming
with us.
Coming for your worms, man.
Where is he?
So he's right off of Fowler and 75.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah,
close.
Fowler and 75. Very
That's
close.
not far.
It was funny. Yeah.
That's
I would
cool.
go visit him in between classes sometimes if I needed to laugh. I'd take my friends down there. He's just some hippie dude. You know, he's got honey and worms. He does beekeeping and worms.
Oh,
So we
okay.
became really good friends.
That's cool. Let's go visit him.
Yeah, we'll go check him out.
Let's
Hope
go
he's doing
interview
all
him.
right. He actually is a stronghold on that corner because I don't know if you know this corner. It's Fowler and 75. On that corner of Fowler and 75 is
Oh,
that crazy carnival looking corner where they built up all those properties along the edge. He's like a
yes.
stronghold. He's been offered hundreds of millions of dollars for that corner. And he's like, no, I've been here for 30 years. I got this place. Dude,
It's worth 100 million.
dude, they just built a
Office.
multi-$100 million property right next to it, like hundreds of apartments right there. And he's just like, no, I'm not selling out. I'm not going to sell it.
Good for
It's a
him.
great corner. And she's like, yeah, go to Hong Kong, Willie.
Yeah. Yeah, he shouldn't sell.
No.
He should just stay there.
He's got a great business there. So hopefully he's doing good.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome.
What else do we kind of have on our list? We kind of
So
lightly passed over water.
Yeah, you did lightly pass over water. It's water, irrigation, light, and temperature, but
Okay.
you already talked about.
So good, because we only really have about 10 minutes left here.
Okay.
And then we're gonna take a little break and we'll come back at 4:15. For, let's see, I think we had 4:15 is, we're gonna talk a little bit more about our business, our mission statement, which is a cooperative / collective business model. And then also we're gonna ask the audience and our guests, what's your why? Because we know our why. We know why we're doing it.
Yeah.
We want to know what is your why, because your why is going to help you find the product that you want to sell. And our main why is,
Hey, Valerie. Hey, William. Thanks for joining.
what's up? What's up?
Blue Blossom.
Hey, thanks everybody. Thanks for coming in.
Comment
Yeah,
if you
comment.
could.
If you can, just comment. We can see all your comments here.
Let
Everybody
us
get in the
know.
chat.
I see you.
Thanks.
We got.
Thanks everybody.
What's going
Yeah,
on,
thanks for being here.
Ivana?
Hey, what's up?
My boom by mum.
Yeah, we got-
Supreme Tactics.
Welcome.
What's up?
Was good. Happy Friday, everybody. This is MoringaCon23. We're here for the next 3
Hey.
days. We're not moving for 3 days. It's just gonna be us. You know, we're gonna be
Awesome.
sharing all of this Moringa knowledge for you.
Come
So
eat fruit with us.
come eat fruit. You're more than welcome to come in person.
Come to Plant City.
Come to Plant City. We're open today until 5-6 o'clock. We're gonna be
Yeah.
doing workshops, and after that, we're gonna do a bonfire. We're gonna be cooking out. And then we're gonna be back tomorrow, 9 a.m. So you can come in here, hang out with us, like Jude is here.
We're at 5411 Doc Pritchard Road,
That's right.
Plant City, Florida, 33565.
Come through.
We're
Come
here.
through. Hit us up.
Coming out with Jesus.
Hit us up. Bring your clippers. So that way we can put you to work. Hang out with Marketing Jesus out here. Oh, we got some nice grapefruit. We do have a little trash can down here too.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Nice. We're all just getting the setups here. So some of the water requirements, we kind of talked a little bit about irrigation. One cool thing is that I don't even have my orchard on irrigation. People always go out there and
That's
they
true.
ask and they're like, how do you water these things? Like I said,
God.
I'm literally using nature. I'm a permaculturalist,
Yeah.
right? And I also am in a startup. I have a startup company. So what does that tell you? That my funds are limited. I have limited
We have
funds.
limited
I'm putting-
resources for now.
Everything into the business, you know, marketing, advertising, labor, workers, you know, all the things. And one of the things that I said, you know, how can I cut a cost starting up? And I said, maybe it's irrigation. Because those are thousands of dollars system. So what could I do? I could get free mulch and it could capture and store the water from the rain and naturally release it slowly over time. Because what's really cool about oak mulch, it's that it's very porous, and then when it's freshly cut, it's like a sponge. You know, and it's starting to pool vitamins, minerals, and water, because that's H2O, right? It's starting to pull that out of the atmosphere. And it doesn't even need to rain for oak mulch to be wet, because it pulls the moisture out of the air.
Out of the air.
Thanks, Supreme. Appreciate you, man. Yeah, join the affiliate program. I'm gonna teach you how to make money just promoting us.
Yeah.
And I'll show you how to write your video scripts to maximize your attention. Thanks for joining.
Yeah, thank you.
We'll see you on the affiliate side of things.
Yeah, we do have a free affiliate program. You don't need to be a member to be an
Yeah.
affiliate. You can
It's
sign up
free to
today.
join. Sign up today, free to join. You get your own private link. Since you're on social media, you just create a very simple landing page, put it in your bio, talk about Moringa.
Yep.
We'll give you everything you need to win.
Yeah. What's our here Sunday at 9 affiliate?
Oh
program.
yeah. Okay, so that's on Sunday.
So on Sunday,
We'll
come back through on Sunday 9 to 10 a.m.
We'll go deep.
and we'll go deep on affiliate marketing.
Yep.
You can actually find this schedule inside of our free Moringa marketplace. We have a special app that you can download on your phone. It's free to get in. The free side has all of this also in it too. Go to moringamarketplace.mn.co for the free marketplace. Sign up for the affiliate program in the link in this bio here. See how I did that? In the link in the bio is how you, as an affiliate, can begin to generate income off of the internet without having your own trees, without having your own store.
Yep.
Essentially put us to work and help to sell it, and you make commissions off of selling these capsules. And you can get behind us. Why? Because we mentioned that you know, like, and trust us, because we're your #1 Moringa experts, teachers in the world. And that's why we're here for this event, to teach everybody about this magical Moringa tree.
A miracle tree.
So water and irrigation, and then we'll do light and temperature. Okay, so just want to close this up. We've got about 3 or 4 minutes here. So I'm not on irrigation. So don't worry too much if you don't have it. The best time of year to plant your Moringa trees is during rainy season. So you're starting to become a farmer. Pick up your farmer's almanac. Start to look at the signs. Go outside. Feel the moon cycles. Feel the water cycles of your property. And then also study the sun cycles of your property. Because in the sky, the sun is going to go down in the south in the wintertime to where you only have south-facing sun here in North America. And then in the summer, the sun is going to go straight up above your head, and it's going to go right across your head. But in the wintertime, it's going way down in the south sky. And if you plant your trees on the south side of your property, maybe your neighbor's trees are going to block your sun. So what do? Is you plant them on the north side of your property. So that way, when the sun is going down in the sky, it can still reach your trees all winter. So that would be my main suggestion, is get mulch, use that to stop, and store the water, plant it in your mulch, and then also make sure that you're planting your trees in full sun all year. That's going to be your next strategy. It's just making sure you're planting your trees in the full sun all year. And if you're in pots, this is the big thing is, oh, I have a Moringa tree, and you said it loves full sun. But I mean, think about it. We're talking about a plant in the ground that's being cooled by the earth versus a plant in a black pot that's dry, hot and dry, and it's not getting Mother Nature's natural cooling elements. So if it's in a pot, it actually goes in partial shade. and they need a little bit more water requirements in pots. So that's it.
One of the secrets to growing an abundant tree, and this is relevant to all root-based plants, right? Which is pretty much all of them, is he mentioned something, cold. So an old friend of mine actually patented the process of something called cold grow. And so he was a well-known cannabis grower. He patented a bunch of cannabis products, and one of them was a process of growing where he would encapsulate the roots in a colder temperature, separate from the outside, right? And that temperature differential would actually produce a stronger fruit, stronger plant, and a more resilient plant. And so remember when we did the whole NASA thing with the Deep Space Food Project, that guy, his name was Charles, shout out to Charles Onkner. He's actually, his patents and what he's given to our world is very few people understand how much of a major impact he's given to the gift to farmers on this planet.
Cold culture,
Cold grow.
cold grow.
So you can look it up. It's trademarked, cold grow. But he patented, and then he basically gave it as a free license for everybody to just do it for themselves. Now, so when we start getting into the bigger project with like greenhouse and stuff, we will do the cold grow.
We're gonna try it, yeah, because there's gonna be a lot of people that grow it in colder climates that want to be able to get this tree growing, and how they could do that.
Yeah, so just the secret is keeping your roots at a specific temperature differential from the outside, and that is what will bear a bigger and stronger plant fruit.
Yeah, I mean, I do know that for sure, like, there are plants that love that, but we have to see if.
It's
that
not
can be-
everything.
if we can do it
It's
for
literally like, I know for cannabis for sure,
Yeah.
that's good. Moringa, I know we didn't really talk about it before, but I just brought it up because I thought it was a good point to bring.
Yeah,
For anybody who's a hobby grower or farmer, urban grower, it's just something to consider. Because it is an old traditional technique that is relevant
Awesome.
still.
thanks, bro.
And so, yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah.
All right, well, thanks, everybody. We're gonna go ahead and close down for this episode. We'll be back in about 15-20 minutes. And we're gonna be talking more about business, your plans, our business, how we establish our business here, and why we went from a cooperative model to a collective model, what that is. And then also we want to know more about what is your why. So we'll be back here on these platforms as well as in our members area in about 15-20 minutes. So peace and love, everybody. Thanks.
Thanks for joining.
Yeah, thanks for coming in. See you soon. Clap it up. Clap it up.
Well,
Okay.
I'm gonna head back.
Okay.
Thanks for hanging out.
Yeah,
Thanks, everybody. We'll be back soon.
I learned a bit. I'm not